darkness and light collide. Two flames burn eternal. From the sacred halls of Freemasonry to the roaring highways of the widow's sons comes a brotherhood forged in truth, honor, and fire. This is no ordinary podcast. This is the voice of the craft, reminding you that the sun never sets on the widow's sons. From the heartland of America, welcome to the Two Burning Tapers podcasts with your hosts, Skittles and Gilligan.
Welcome back to Two Burning Tapers. Brother, it's boys' night tonight. Just me and my brother Gilligan hanging out, catching up, and talking about whatever comes to mind. No guests, no script, just good conversation and real brotherhood. Grab a drink, light your smoke, and welcome to the show. Brother, good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I feel like I just saw you not too long ago, my brother.
Man, it was not too long ago, but man, it feels like too long ago.
I know. It's like, it's only like four or 5 days since the last time I saw you, but it really feels longer than that when I'm just sitting across the screen from you. It's like, man, wasn't I just there this weekend and like hang out? I got to hang out with you and it was just gone.
I know. It went by so quick. And what's funny is, so before this podcast began, me and Gilligan had to sit on here for about 45 minutes beforehand and be like, hey, I didn't have enough time to talk to you. I wanted to talk to you about this and this and this. And it's like we had to actually catch up or something. So love talking to you, brother.
Same, brother. We didn't get to have that moment of talk before we left each other this weekend, which is sometimes kind of happens when you get together as a chapter. But yeah, thanks for the intro. That was a pretty good intro. I like that one.
Yeah, man, I'm working on them. So this weekend, I got to give you kind of a shout out because you saved me a little bit. I started getting myself into a bit of a pickle, into a brother pickle. But so I had realized I had messed up a little bit. I had caught myself. And so I messaged you and I said, brother, I fucked up. And what I love,
you did.
Yeah, what I love is I think it might have been 20 seconds or less. You called me and we slightly talked about this, but I don't know if you remember, but the first thing you said to me is you said, who are we fucking up?
No, I don't remember, but I probably did. But
you instantly, so yeah, you read my text message that said, I fucked up. And you called me and you just said, who are we fucking up? And I'm like, no. I fucked up.
Like you literally sent a message and that's all it said is I fucked up. And I'm like, oh, fuck. What happened? Am I have to get him out of jail? I got to go fuck somebody up? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, you're my brother, man. I'm gonna call you instantly. Like you send me a message that says I fucked up. That's code. That's like code, bro code.
Yeah,
like 100%. I need help.
100%. Yeah, no, I love that, man. That made me feel really good. I appreciated that, and I knew it was real. Yeah. I knew you were busy at work and you dropped everything. You're like, what's going on, man?
I did too. I was like, wait, nope. I wasn't even responding with a text message. That was an Insta call. That's an Insta call, brother. Doesn't matter. That was rolling out the red carpet, as you like to call it.
Yeah. So I had. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say what remind me of what was the conundrum we were in.
So I had. Well, I'll start with we had our Christmas party.
Yes.
Awesome planned out Christmas party.
Nephilim Christmas party.
Nephilim Christmas party, really big one. A lot of people came down. I was amazed at the amount of people from Southern Illinois came in. People from Kentucky came in. You guys, obviously, and it was a lot of fun. We had a key game that we were the sponsor of. Maybe we'll go into a little more detail about that tonight. But I had realized that same weekend was my anniversary weekend, and I promised the wife, I was like, "Hey, we're going to go to Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We got a cabin we can go to up there." and I realized, oh no, I just double booked myself. And you and I started talking about it, and you instantly, you're like, buddy, don't worry about it. You need to go. Go do your
Yeah,
anniversary,
go.
you know?
Go do your anniversary. I'm gonna still crash in your
Yeah.
house, but go do your
Yeah.
anniversary.
Yeah. Your anniversary. So me and Gilligan, we came up with some options. He was super just like, you need to take care of family first, you know.
Family first.
Maddie
Yep.
deserves a good anniversary. So great thing is I went home and uh basically told my wife, Mad Dog, the same thing I told Gilligan, and I just said, I fucked up. And she knows who she married, and she went, yeah, I know. I pretty much realized you double booked a long time ago and just rolled with it.
She was testing you, brother.
She 100% knew. She's like, yeah, I can't believe it took you this long to remember, figure it out. So we
Uh,
pushed our anniversary trip back one weekend. So I'm heading out tomorrow to go do that. But we all got to hang out at my house this weekend, do the
yep.
Nephilim Christmas party.
Yes, we did.
Dude, we had what, 4 kids in my house?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In your house after the Nephilim party and
Yeah,
the hockey game.
and the hockey
Yep.
game. Yeah, we had a bunch of kids at the hockey game.
Yep.
So
Bunch of kids. We had a
for
bunch of kids at the Christmas party.
bunch of oh yeah, Brother Worm,
Mm-hmm.
uh, from Southern Illinois came in.
Yep. Uh, Brother Pinky. That's Pinky's son.
Pinky's son, yeah,
Yep.
Wing Ding and his old lady came up from Southern Illinois, Rooster, of course, you guys.
Yep.
Um,
We had Joe
our good
Exotic and
friend
his
Brian,
daughters.
Joe Exotic and his daughters came in, yeah. I
I
mean,
would say
this was honestly our biggest,
Mule and his daughter and son, Teddy and his daughter. I mean, we probably had 10 kids run around our chapter Christmas party.
yep, yep. We had the party at our normal lodge,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah,
worked out really well because we did officer installment at our Christmas
mm-hmm.
party.
Yeah, we did our first annual installing of officers at our Christmas party. Open
Um,
installation.
yeah. How about I'm gonna give you the floor here. You want to go in detail about maybe the importance of the exchanging of guard. So like
Mm-hmm.
Nephilim, something that's like we make a pretty big deal out of like, hey, here's this year's officers, and we're gonna like bring the family in and make it a big I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah. I was gonna say our installation officers is like an open installation when you're getting installed as worshipful master, senior warden, junior warden, or in any chair you're sitting in. If the master decides to have an open lodge, to have your installation as an open ceremony is what we did to invite our family and children in to kind of enjoy seeing the officers be put in stations. And know that those guys are in those stations. So if you need help or want to know who they are, you know exactly who they are and where they're from. Um, it was really nice because we got to install the president, the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer,
Hmm.
road captain and sergeant armor appointed positions, so those aren't installed. But we
Hmm.
installed the top 4 officers. Had a little bit of information for each officer. Had a little bit of here. This is your duties. Do you agree to those duties and to accept the chair? In which all 4 did, and they all got set in their chairs. But what I really liked was at the very end of it, like it was important for everybody to sit in those chairs and accept those duties, but they understood what those duties were when they sat in those chairs and what the expectations, kind of like what Daniel Pepper talked about in the last podcast. Was he walked up to his junior and senior warden and was kind of like, hey, I expect you to be at my meetings. This is my expectations. As do you accept do you accept this chair? That's kind of the way we presented it to these positions. But the family was there. But one of the really good things that I liked about it at the very end, um, everybody that was there, including guests, stood up and introduce themselves. So, like myself, I stood up, and my wife stood up. My wife introduced herself and my children, and most of us knew who she was in the room, but some of us didn't, because we had a bigger chapter meeting with other outsiders coming in. So it was nice for everyone to introduce each other, because sometimes you get to have a bigger chapter. Not everybody's in the same event at the same time. Sometimes the wife doesn't get to come because we have the children, and sometimes it's always the wife that doesn't get to come because the men is part. It's part of our what we're there for. But what I was going at that is, you don't always get to meet the family. You don't always get to know who is who with what. And sometimes in bigger chapters, that makes the difference by getting to personally know each other and say, "Hi, I'm Gilligan. Those are my Ragrat kids. You see
Mhm.
them? You can thump them on the head when they're being retards."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, sometimes well, and like at our event, there was so many kids, sometimes they're gonna be like, "Man, who do these 2 kids belong to?"
Correct, correct. Because, man, people think I'm you and you are me, and
Yeah.
my wife is
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
wife and your wife is my
Yes.
wife, and
Yes.
they think I have your kids and your kids are my kids. Like,
And people, this is the honestly happens to us multiple times a year where we get super mistaken like that.
man, I'm gonna go on a little side quest. Uh, we were at a rally once. We were at a rally once doing some bike games, and
Yeah, yeah,
I lost the slow race, which, by the way, I taught this man how to slow race.
yeah.
Uh, we spent lots of stoplights slowing down and slow racing, or taking off when there's nobody behind us, slow racing. We do it with our old ladies on the back of it, just to try to see who is better. I'll give you credit. You are better at it because I still have the better sounding exhaust. I'll give you the better at it being slow
Okay,
racing.
okay, okay, okay. Well, wait, so I do wanna say this about me being better at slow race. For some reason, every time you lose, I watch you do something and I'm like, "He lost dumb."
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
where I just notice you, like I'm like, "Oh, he, like, did so or, like, put his foot" like, I'm like, "Man, he shouldn't have lost."
Correct. But that's okay. That's okay. Maybe I hit the bumps in the road, and your path's always smooth. You never know.
Yeah, 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 that's true. But, okay, so I know what where you're going was you lost,
Mhm.
but they said I lost because they thought I was you. Well, yeah, no, yeah, we did that too. We did that to ourselves. Yeah, 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 we did that to ourselves.
And I was like, "No, I lost." And they're like, "No, you didn't. You won." I'm like, "Okay." I still lost.
Um, okay, you know what that makes me think of? Now we're watching, past weekend mashup videos of all the past rallies we
Yes.
attended.
Yes, yes, yes.
Remember, in the Mississippi area, there's those 2 brothers, maybe they're twin brothers, I can't remember, but they always dress up real wild.
Yes. Yeah, they at the Mississippi rally, they had, like, the pelican hats on, blow-up
Yeah.
hats and stuff on, matching onesie shirts and shit.
Yeah, they look like they're dressing up like beach or Hawaii or something,
Yeah,
you know?
that's me and you in, like, 45 years.
Yeah, you say that every time we see them.
I think
I
we
like
have
those
phys
guys.
I think we have physically told them that.
Yeah, 100%.
I do remember us looking at them and going, "Hey, look at us, boys. This is 20 years, 40 years difference. We
Yeah.
you, or are we you in 40 years, or you us 40 years ago? Which one is it?"
Yeah, those guys are cool, man. Can't remember their name off the top of my head, but
No,
love them.
no, no, no. But back to our regularly scheduled program. Uh, the
We
Christmas
went around the
party.
room and introduced everybody. Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah,
Christmas party, yeah.
we went around the room, introduced everybody, had a really really good time. Um, and then we went to a hockey game. not just only we went to a hockey game, we went. Or tell them who the Buffalo Bison or the Bison. Yeah,
Yeah, the Bison.
go ahead. There you go.
So in our town in Normal, Illinois, we've got a really big hockey arena called the Coliseum. It's basically what I would compare it to is just below the major leagues is
Okay.
this hockey team. If that makes like baseball terms, so more
So
people understand it.
we call it the
Um,
minor leagues.
Minor leagues, yeah, that'd be perfect. So this is the minor leagues of hockey, and this team that they put together this year, they're crushing it. They're winning. In fact, at the game we attended, I know they made at least over 3
It was
goals.
the one.
Yeah, and yeah, it was crazy. But what was really cool that our chapter did, and gotta give props to Scotty Slides Bevel, our president. He
Mm-hmm.
kind of orchestrated this and started this. Um, Nephilim Widow Sons chapter was the lead head sponsor of the whole entire hockey night. So we had the bottom floor, like, one on one, like we were eye to eye with all the hockey players. We had a whole section there. We had all you could eat, all you can drink. We had all of our own
Mm-hmm.
tables, our chairs. We could walk and move around. We had some autonomy. But everywhere, all over the Coliseum, it was Widow Sons sponsoring. Thanks to our sponsors, the Widow Sons, and it was a real big deal. And the whole arena, they're all stacked up in their chairs. They're looking down at us the whole entire night. And what are they seeing? A bunch of bikers,
Mm-hmm.
patches, and children.
Yep. And
And
teddy
then when the
bears.
yeah, when the first goal got made, all of us are throwing teddy bears
Yep.
onto the
I was
ice. And
I was gonna say I think we had like 75 teddy bears that we threw
yeah,
on
just
the
between
ice.
yep, just between our chapter, and I think the whole Coliseum in total collected like thousands of
Yeah.
teddy
Oh yeah.
bears. It was
Oh, buddy.
incredible.
I would say if you watch our short on Facebook, you can see them pulling off tarps, not just one,
Mm,
plethora of tarps, so full that
mhm.
they're falling off of it. That many people threw it in there, and that just tells you how many people were kind of out there that night, and they were seeing all of us hang out, and the just in this big ass arena, just a bunch of guys hanging out, enjoying a game. And when Shawn says how close we were so close that the puck was hitting the glass, and I'm over here like, ding,
Yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
and all I'm gonna tell you, not gonna lie, all my kids wanted to see was a fight. They got to see one. They got to see one in the
yeah,
arena. They were like, fight, fight, fight. Why'd you come over here and fight? Is what they were saying.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely really good. Um,
Yeah, that was
uh,
fun, man.
it was just good to see put some good light out on us.
Yeah, and I could tell, that was such a success that our chapter is gonna it's obvious to me that's gonna be a yearly thing we're gonna do.
Yeah, I would agree with
And
that.
it's really fun to be a part of a chapter and watch something brand new happen and realize, "Oh, that that thing that we nobody knew how it was gonna turn out, but we tried it.
Mm-hmm.
That turned out for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked, and now we're gonna do it every year and build upon it."
Right. We had
And that's gonna be a little magic sauce for us every year.
I'm gonna say we had our state president there. Actually, we had a couple of our state officers. Sorry, I was trying to call them like worshipful masters and whatnot, but we had a couple of our state officers there, and I do believe we had some of our actual grand line from the state of Illinois there as well.
So, yeah, the grand line of the state of Illinois, a few of those members showed up. What was really interesting, and brother Scotty Slides Bevel brought it up at our last Blue Lodge meeting, was, hey, these guys were so thankful to be invited to something that was not degree work. You
Yes.
know, the state grand line, they're always being asked, "Hey, we need you to come do this degree work, this degree work, this degree." They were so thankful that we just said, Hey, we have unlimited food, unlimited drink, and great entertainment, and we want your presence. Just come be
Correct.
here with us.
Just come hang out with us. Like they just want to hang out with the rest of us, right?
Hmm.
They
Yeah,
put
they're
their
our
pants.
brothers.
They're supposed to be on the level with us, right?
Ooh, I got a good one for you.
Mhm.
They put their lapel on the same way.
Well, they put their lapel on the same way. Okay, okay.
They slightly poke themselves and get it on.
Yeah, that's true. You always do poke yourself when you try to put that lapel pin on, don't you? Pink.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Speaking of Worshipful Masters, how much longer do you got till you get to get your name back there, brother?
So yeah, we've talked about this in previous episodes that when you become worshipful master, you lose your name.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize how real that felt until later this year when it's like I haven't a brother hasn't called me by my name in a minute. It's hey, good evening, worshipful,
Yep.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I just had my last Blue Lodge meeting of the year. I got like 20 or so more days until installment, where brother uh Jason Jetson Creekhauser, a
Mm-hmm.
widow son, fully
Mm-hmm.
patched widow son, will now become the worshipful master. I point that out because um, I am the third widow son in a row to be a worshipful master of my lodge,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got three more widow sons in the lineup to be worshipful master of my lodge.
Nice.
That's a growing lodge.
Yeah, it's a growing lodge, and hence the reason why our chapter is growing as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a healthy chapter, that's a healthy lodge. Yeah, and they're all Nephilim members, naturally.
Right. I was gonna say you. That's kind of how chapters kind of form. We get a bunch of guys
Mhm.
in a
From the
blue
same
lodge.
lodge.
Yep, same lodge or same area, and they run into each other and from, like, going to degree work and like, "Hey, I didn't know you rode a bike," because you just happen to see a guy riding a bike at the lodge, you're like, "Hey, there's a Wittison chapter or
Mhm.
something near you. You wanna make one, or you wanna go hang out with some?" I mean, it's like a social club, just like the Shriners or, any other social club you get into, VFW,
Yeah.
that type of stuff.
Yeah, and, so I've been reflecting on our previous episode with, Brother Pepper. Um, we talked a lot about what are the duties of a past master,
Mhm.
because I'm now reflecting on that, like, who and how I wanna be there, and, I had this thought of, "Oh, with how many widow sons are in our lodge and widow sons are worshipful masters, I have an opportunity to kill our chapter." And I say that trying to put a lot of weight on my shoulders, right? And what that would look like is me as a past master not showing up to Blue Lodge. That would that doesn't just hurt the lodge, that hurts your chapter. And
Mhm.
and you hearing you say like, yeah, a lot of chapters are started through Blue Lodge.
You through Blue Lodge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Started
I
through
don't
Blue
know.
Lodge. Started through Blue Lodge, or they started through, a group of guys that were, working together. Because like, my lodge itself was just a lodge of UAW members, and they all kinda did the same thing, so they, started studying together, hanging out together. Now my lodge is struggling to to have enough members actively to do anything to, be able to to do any funding for the lodge, that type of stuff. So it kind of comes down to the same old guys over and over and over again. So that kind of can lead us into our in one of our segments of chapter growth or death, or
Yes.
by members coming in or members coming out. So
Yeah.
let's.
This is gonna be an interesting subject. I'm really interested to see where we go on this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's a tough subject, because with growth you have to have you you have to have some death, right? Some things have to die, some things have to grow. I mean, in a forest fire, things come back more healthy after it was burnt, correct? So sometimes,
Yeah.
so just my brain's kind of rattling here for a second.
Yeah, well, let me grab you there for a second. I think I maybe would prefer the analogy of pruning. Pruning a tree, like, so, and I think that's just me being easier or softer on it. Um, you know, Sometimes it doesn't have to mean losing a brother, one going away, but it can mean some tough conversations, and sometimes those are needed.
hmm
Mr. Pepper, Brother Pepper, on our previous episode, as he was going into Worshipful Master, he said he sat down each and every one of his chairs and said, "Are you going to be there? Are you going to show up? You have to." He had a tough conversation with them,
Right, right,
and
right.
to
He's
me,
having
that's pruning it back.
right. He's having that growth conversation with them, saying, "Hey,
100%.
hey, we're gonna grow, but I want to know if you're growing with me."
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So let's talk about the let's talk about some things that uh I guess say growth, because I know there's a lot of stuff through the Widow Sons that
Hmm.
create growth, which can kind of lay over into your lodge. Like you said, normal lodge has going to be a 6 years running of Widow Sons as masters, as master masons, or the worshipful master. I'm sorry. So that being said, what are like some of the what would be something that you would want to see to allow? Go ahead.
I got number one for you:
Yes, yes.
common ground. You got to have common ground.
Okay.
And that common ground within the lodge is the degree, knowing the degree work, knowing the words, the verbiages. Because me and you always have that fun time of when we talk, people listen to us and we're saying things that they're not understanding. And it's just random words. We're saying whence or just name it. And the Widow Sons, it's obviously riding in motorcycles, but you got to have the two together if you want optimal growth. Got to have common ground.
Right. Right.
I think that's our foundation.
Right, because I guess you say we have two types: masons first, and then motorcycle enthusiasts first in the Widow
Mhm,
Sons. So it
mhm.
depends on your mindset. I see what you're picking up, what you're putting down.
Yeah, and if you want optimal growth, I hope you got a motorcycle enthusiast who is a full-time mason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
optimal growth.
Right, because I mean, as master masons, aren't we taught to draw two circles and stand in the center of those two circles?
Mhm.
So if
Yeah.
you draw those two circles together, that should be your even balance. You say your blue lodge is on one side and your
Mhm,
Wittisons, or for those that are listening that are not Wittisons and that are your Scottish Rite or any other Masonic body that you're affiliated with, draw those two circles and put yourself dead smack in the middle and try to find how both of those make growth and
mhm,
create more masons, because we're supposed to be, I mean, we're not supposed to solicit, but I think as men, making good men better, I think we're kind of fisher of men. We're supposed to go out and show our light and fish with our light and say, hey, here I am, who I am. Come gather, come gather, come gather, come gather, gentlemen. Let's have some let's have some more information. Hey, I have some more information. Would you like it?
yeah,
Sorry,
definitely, definitely.
I I went on a little tangent there. My bad, brother. My
No,
bad.
no, no, yeah, that's the best. I put on common ground, common men, right? We need to share some morals, share some dignity, share some knowledge, and share some enthusiasm, right? Riding motorcycles for
Mhm.
the Widow Sons.
Okay.
What's one you want to add to this list?
I'm gonna take the opposite list on you.
Oh, devil's advocate. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna go on the die list here. Um,
Okay.
by being, how do I say this correctly? Um, by being that person in the lodge that over voices their opinion so much that it shadows others' opinions, and then they don't come anymore because your opinion is overshadowing, because maybe you're maybe a past master or a past president or a past seat person, and you try to tell them how to do the job, especially when it's a younger member coming in. That kind of, as a younger member in the beginning, that was kind of, I've had someone come in to me like that, and I'm just like, man, I I really don't want to do it. Nope,
Yeah.
sorry. It's gonna push me away. So,
Yeah.
I see, by trying to over influence your opinions and not finding that, as we were talking about, that common ground, that
Yeah.
circle right there in the middle. It's
Right.
a circle.
It's a circle. I was in lodge one time, and I remember a younger gentleman was bringing up raising money or getting out in the community, and he's like, "Hey, I think we should like go out to this event, and we could all be there." And some guys kind of nod their head, and older gentleman, well respected, he's like, "We've tried that, and nobody shows up."
Yeah,
And it was just like, oh,
shut down. It was shut down. Instant.
it's that older gentleman. I like he. It's true. They tried it, and it never worked. 5 years ago, and he's
Mhm.
right, and we should listen to him and try to figure out like why did that happen. But 5 years later, well, I'm watching about six younger guys who have only been in for 2 years, sitting there nodding their heads, like
Yep.
saying like, "Yep, I'm free that day. I can attend. I'll be there."
Right.
Um, I don't know. I just thought of that moment when you're kind of saying that, you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, that's a great story, because that does happen quite often, especially, like, I can contest in my lodge that happens because we have the same guys that do the same thing over and over and over and over again. But we are in a royal younger gentlemen that are seeking the door, um, just because there's not a lot of light out here. It is a farmer's town, so everybody's like, "Hey, I got a lot of shit to do. I ain't got time for that."
Yeah,
Especially the younger
yeah.
generation. You gotta get them in there quick. So, do you wanna take growth or death on this one?
Um, I'll take death.
Okay, okay, I'll take growth this one.
Okay, yeah, yeah, we should flip flop. So something. And by the way, are we sticking with growth and death of chapters or lodges?
Both.
Okay. Um,
Either or, 'cause it applies to both.
yeah, I'm gonna stick more with a chapter for this one, and I'm this one's gonna be random weekends. There's so many random weekends that, especially in the summertime, that us as widow sons, there's no events, there's nothing going on in your town. More importantly, there's no rally. Um,
Mhm.
and
Or
I know for a
chapter
fact,
meeting.
or chapter meeting, right? I know for a fact that all of you guys have got your bike out in the driveway, you've got it washed, and you're thinking, oh, I'll go ride out to that one place and get a burger, or what you're trying to think of an excuse to go ride for just a little bit, maybe a 30-minute
Mhm,
ride.
mhm.
Um, you need you need to reach out to your chapter and meet some guys up and ride. And I'm going to add this: it can be with one person. You can go out and ride with just one person. Don't think that when you reach out to the chapter and only one guy shows interest in riding for 30 minutes on Saturday,
That you
that's not a
shouldn't.
failure. Yeah, that's not a failure. Go
Right.
do that, man. Go do that. It doesn't have to be a big event. It doesn't have to be everybody. Listen, you get 10 guys in a room, 5 of them have something planned and going on. That's how it is, you know?
Buddy, I'm a head coach for the 7U travel team, for my daughter's 7U travel team. I have 10 girls on my team. I scheduled a uh, a once a month for 4 months in a row. I scheduled a date for 4 months, once a month at a certain time, 2 months in advance, and I had a parent tell me they can make one and not the other 3. And I'm like, "How? How?" Like, how? Like, these are you're telling me you have something for 3 months advanced? Like, you're telling me you like, right now, you know that 2 months in advance, that you know 6 months from now that you know you're gonna be somewhere. You can't schedule that in? It's
Who
commitment.
who who owns a calendar that that has information 2 months ahead of time?
Yeah, right, right,
That's
right.
crazy. That's crazy.
Correct. So I tried to give enough advance notice. So you were saying, my bad. I was just agreeing with that, with your statement of, uh, so you're saying that, let me recap you here. So you're saying if you don't do those things, your chapter or your lodge will die, or will create some death, or stagnant in your chapter because of those moments where you should just go out and say, "Hey, let's go for a ride,
Yeah.
buddy." I would love to ride with you just anywhere. I don't care if we're going for a pack of cigarettes down the road, or if it's, we want to go grab a burger, or hey, you say, "Hey, I want to go check out this car." 2 hours from up the road. You want to ride with me? Sure, I'll ride with
Yeah, I
you.
want somebody to go with me. What's hilarious is me and Gilligan have literally ended up in different states together with maybe 2-day notice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where it's been like, "Oh, hey, man, Rooster said this is going on in Metropolis. All right, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, hey, I'm gonna bring the probies or
Mhm,
petitioners. All right, we'll meet you. We'll go do that."
mhm. I
And it was great. It was
remember
an awesome weekend.
I remember one time when, Mr. Skittles said, "Oh, it was after your, Sportster, decided to, take a dive."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
After, your Sportster decided to take a dive, and we should have named you Sparky instead of Skittles. Um,
Missed opportunity. Really, honestly, my
miss
road name really should be Sparky. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
if you haven't listened to that podcast, I think it's quite a few back in the very, very beginning. We explained that story. Um, but I remember you looking for motorcycles, and you were
Mhm.
looking at like
Oh,
these
yeah.
Sportster 48s and shit. And like, I'm like, no,
Yeah,
bro, no, you got to get you a
yeah,
street glide. I didn't have a Harley at the time. I had a Honda Davison. I had a Honda Shadow 1300 that had fairings and speakers and tour pack and all kinds of shit on it. So I Harley
yeah.
Davidson it out. I was a young gentleman, didn't make a lot of money, and had my first kid.
Honda
So
Davidson.
Honda Davidson. I did what I had to do. Um, but I'm talking to a younger gentleman that just got an insurance check for a motorcycle, and he lives on his own, had his own money, made good money. Well, a good kid. I was like,
Mhm.
bro, you need to buy you a street glide. You need to buy you a street glide. You need to buy you a street glide. He's
You
like,
you
nah,
kept saying bagger,
yeah,
and
bagger.
all I was hearing was old man bike.
Yes. Yes, you were. You were hearing old man bike. But what you weren't realizing was I was seeing the bigger picture in the end. Because,
Oh.
yeah, because you were looking for a smaller bike that had, a smaller gas tank, so me and you being able to ride for longer periods of times was I was stopping every hour, and that's if we're gonna go on long rides and you were gonna be going
Mm,
from rallies to rallies, as we have done from you've gone from, Bloomington, Illinois, and I've been from Louisville, Kentucky, and we've met in south of, Missouri or Kansas, one of those states. Yeah, whatever's below
yeah.
Illinois. I'm not very good with math and not, demographics or whatever. Um, but we met there halfway and then stayed the night and then drove the other half. Buddy, it would have took us like 45 hours to get that 6-hour ride if you were on a Sportster or a 48. So I was like, nah, you
That's
need something
cool,
with a,
man.
you need something with a
I haven't
gas
heard
tank.
that side. Yeah, I haven't heard that side of the story yet. Thanks for thinking that you were thinking bigger picture. You're
A
like,
bigger
I want to
picture,
ride with
buddy.
this motherfucker.
I
All
want to
right.
ride with this motherfucker. I want to be able to call him and say, hey, bro, they're having a chapter meeting up in Chicago. You want to go? Which we,
Okay, well, wait. I don't want us to derail. Where you're going with that is I
yes,
said, hey, I think I found this bike, and I showed Gilligan. It was a bagger.
it
It was the
was.
perfect in between. It wasn't an old man bike, but it was a street glide
It was,
bagger. And I
it
was
was
like, man, yeah, I think I want to go
lime
get
green and
it.
black, bro. Lime green and black.
Yeah.
It screamed fucking Skittles.
Yeah, it was perfect for me. I showed it to him, and I I can't remember how it went down, but I know that
It was a
you
Thursday.
you and I yeah, you and I took the day off work.
Yeah, it was a
Just
Thursday, and you were like, "Hey, I want to go get this bike." I was like, "All right, let's take tomorrow off." He was like, "What?" I was like, "Yes, let's take
yeah,
tomorrow off
that
and
was
go get this
crazy.
bike." So we literally jumped.
Crazy.
We jumped in my F-350. No
Yeah.
ramp, no nothing. I knew you were riding it home because there was no way we were riding all the way out there, not buying it, and you weren't not
Yeah.
riding it home. That was a requirement. That was a requirement. You were riding it home,
Yeah.
buddy.
Gosh, dude, that was fun.
We get there, we buy that bike. If we buy it from an older gentleman, which is cool as fuck, cool dude,
It was cool. Yeah, it was
we
really
we
cool.
we buy the bike from him. So we leave. We're on the way back. We get, if anybody's ever been through coming through 64, coming from like St. Louis area, because we went over to St. Louis. We picked it up. So 64 to Kentucky, like there's a bunch of area where there's absolutely nothing, like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
So we're driving. I'm behind him, and Skittles starts slowing down. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? He runs out of gas.
Yeah,
straight
100%.
runs out of, straight runs out of gas. We fill it up. We fill it up before we leave. He runs out of gas, and the gas gauge, like we figured it was accurate. The light came on, and we figured we still had a little bit of time before we got to the gas station. No, because there was
Uh-uh.
no gas stations around when the light.
Yeah.
So I had to go get some gas and help him out, and then we finally realized, okay, when you hit the quarter, you got to start looking for the gas station,
Yeah.
not when the gas light comes on. But
Yeah.
hey, you know what? That's one of them things you just have to know as a
Mhm.
as a motorcycle rider. That's just one of those things you have to know where you're out. Like, where do I run out of fuel? Like, how far does it go before I can just go? Because you may be on the side. You may
Mhm.
like Skittles was in that predicament. And he's like, fuck. Next gas station is 43 miles, but my shit only says 23 miles. Do I actually have 43 miles to make it?
Yeah, that's the number one thing that, I think you've taught me, and maybe it was that moment that we developed together that I now something I tell new riders is when they're asking or talking to me, I go like, "First thing you need to do is run your bike out of gas."
Yep.
Get get yourself a 1-gallon gas can, strap it to the back, but you need to run your bike out of gas because you need to
Fill it up.
know when you hit reserve or when you hit the light pops on, do you have 10 miles or do you have 50 miles left?
Correct.
And
Correct.
honestly, I think what you were about to say there is you should start with a full tank, go run
Yep.
it out. Because you need to
Run it out.
know, like, you need to be able to tell people, like, when you go on a big long ride, how many miles you got to the tank.
Correct.
We
Because
don't
that me
ask how many miles per gallon, how many miles to the tank.
correct. Yeah. Because me and you, we ride till tank's empty, like legit. So we ride till tank empty, or one of us is going, hey, I got 12 miles until I hit zero. Because we know we're pushing when we're riding, we're pushing until the until the tank's going zero almost.
Yeah. 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 And you need to know that.
Yeah. But get us circled back around to the death and growth. With that being said, being able to ride, that was a ride that I got to share with Parker, and that was something that it was not a widow's son's thing or a lodge thing. It was just something I was sharing with my brother that shared both of those things with me. I
Yes.
can't tell you countless of stories of that happening
Hmm.
between me and you, or me and you and other members of our chapter, of just being able to, hey, I'm having a big New Year's Eve party at my house. Show up, come on. I don't care. Bring a tent. Bring a fucking
Yeah.
camper. Let's go.
Yeah. And maybe
Create.
you can, yeah, maybe you can help me word this or put some better verbiage on this, but everybody wants to have stories, want to be able to tell
Hmm.
stories. And stories are so valuable, but they're so
Hmm.
cheap to obtain.
Hmm. Hmm.
The purchase price of a
Yeah.
story is so cheap. So like that one we just described was just like, yeah, we just took the day off work and did it. And now we have this like really fun, awesome bond and story that we talk about forever.
Yeah, because that's nuts. It was a 4 hour ride there, and you got a 4 hour ride back on your bike, and I got to watch you ride the
Yeah.
whole time. I got to,
Yeah, man.
it's not that I enjoyed watching you riding as I'm sitting in a truck, but I got to watch my brother succeed. I
Yeah.
watched him go from one motorcycle to the next motorcycle, and just being able to take that joy ride with him and watch the joy in his face as he was riding.
Yeah. And I'm
Just
so thankful and indebted to you because of that day. But again, you and I both earned those things, but they were cheap to earn. But
correct.
people want it. I think I'm trying to tell people like, dude, get out there and do it. You can have these same things.
You just make excuses that you can't go do something like that lodge or the chapter meeting, and you're just like, ah,
Hmm.
well, I can't make it, or I have to do this, buddy. I teach a softball travel team. I teach a a rec softball team. I work a 40+ hour job, and I'm a widow son, and I'm also a lodge member, and I
Hmm.
still be able to. I've missed 5 lodge meetings in my entire Masonic career, and those
Hmm.
5 lodge meetings were because I was out of town, literally not able to physically make it, and it wasn't because I just like, I don't feel like I wanna go today." No, same with my chapter meetings. Only and my chapter meetings are 332 miles away. The only time I
Yeah.
miss a chapter meeting is physically because 'cause I'm on a softball team, or am I physically doing something with my family. Other than that, I drive 332 miles one way for a chapter meeting, and when someone bitches about it's so hard to make chapter meetings, you you're talking to the wrong person on that one. So, again, being the death and growth of a chapter can all depend on your dedication to your obligation.
Yeah. Thank you for that. That's a good one. Say that
Yes.
again.
I don't think I can. You might have to rewind that. Shit, because that
Yeah. Okay.
was
Let's move on.
yeah, because I don't think I could say that again. Because that was straight honesty. That was no script. That was straight from the heart, fellas. So if you
Yeah.
heard that was true words.
Yeah. All right. Where are we at now?
All right, growth. You were on death. I think we kind of death and growth at the same time, but
Okay.
I would say we got just a few more minutes before we close on our cap here. So I
Yeah.
wanted to move us on to top 5 things that you should have, or what is it?
You should know as a widow son.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Top 5 things that you should know as a widow son. You want to
All
start with
right.
one?
Yeah, I got one. The meeting's not over when the gavel drops is what I want to say there.
Okay. So
And so what I'm alluding to is when the meeting's over, don't leave.
okay, yeah,
Stay
hang out.
there.
Yeah.
Again, so like me and Gilligan were talking about, oh man, hey, those random Saturdays, go do something. You know, it's a really easy one is when everybody's already still there.
Mhm.
Hang out. There's
Yep.
not a lot of investment. You can get a lot out of it, a lot of ROI, right?
Mhm.
Hang out. Stay like a minimum, even if you're a narcissist and have to set a timer for 20 minutes, 20 minutes after the meeting and just
Right.
be like, "Hey brother, how you doing?" Just talk to people. Stay around after the meeting.
Yep. Get to know somebody.
Yeah.
Even if you think you don't know somebody, or you think you know somebody, ask them how shit's going on in their daily life as of today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't know what happened to him this past week or weekend
Mhm.
or whatever.
Mhm.
You might find out something where you're like, "Hey, we need to pass a hat." Or honestly, a good one is like those those 20 minutes after the meeting, find somebody that needs to be in your prayers. Somebody
Mhm.
needs to be. If you have a group of 10 guys, one of them you need to pray for. Statistically guaranteed.
That's true. That's true. Or someone just might need someone to mentally talk to them today.
100%, yeah, or just yeah, like, yeah, listen to somebody.
Yep. I was gonna say that would lead me into my number one would be communication with your brother. Straight up communication with your brother would be a top with a son's priority. Um, Not necessarily when I say communication with your brother, as in like you got to talk to him all day, every day, or every
Mhm.
single day. Just maybe once a week, check in, say, "Hey, brother, how you doing?"
Dude, man,
Because
okay, so I gotta actually speak for myself. Tonight, I thought of a brother, and I was like, "Oh, man, I need to see how he's doing." He went through something, I just wanted to text him, and probably when we get done with this podcast, I'll text him, but to your point, just messaging a brother, Snapchatting
hmm
a brother,
hmm
it doesn't have to be a big, thing or whatever, but
hmm yeah, it doesn't have to be much. Just a hey, bud, thinking about you. Need anything? Give me a holler.
yeah. Yeah, when you and
That's
I don't talk, we at least, Snapchat each other good morning every
yep,
morning.
every morning.
It means a lot.
It does. It does. Um,
I know you're still alive.
I made it through the evening, sir. God graced me with another day. God graced me with another day. So what's your number two?
Yeah, number 2, that a widow son needs to know, um, you need a mentor, and I don't care where you are at in your Masonic or widow son journey, but you need a mentor at all times.
Buddy
And that
check.
mentor, yeah, yeah, that mentor can change or flip or, but somebody you're looking up to, like today mine can be Gilligan. Tomorrow, it can be,
Rooster.
Brother Rooster or yeah, yeah, name them. But you have to have a mentor.
Mm-hmm. Or I'll give you a little bit more on that one. Someone that's not your yes man.
Ooh, I like that.
Someone that's not your yes man, especially when you're making a tough decision. Yeah, I would call that person in your chapter that gives you the tough side or the devil's advocate side. That's why I was earlier was playing uh, growth and death with you. I like playing a little bit of devil's advocate, just kind of see the opposite side of it.
Yeah,
Um,
if you're a president of a widow sons chapter, surround yourself with people who are not yes men.
yep, yep, that's facts, sir. That's facts. I'll give you my number two. What a widow son should know. They should know their chapter bylaws. And even their chapter bylaws should probably have mirroring most of their state bylaws. That should be
Yeah.
as minimum of their state bylaws plus their chapter bylaws. So I will say your bylaws would be a good thing to know as a widow son, or even as a Blue Lodge member, to know your Blue Lodge laws
Yeah.
bylaws.
Yep.
Because
Yep. Yep.
I'll give you a case in point. We had our district deputy come by to a lodge meeting last year, and I think it was like, oh, November? Yeah, November, we were talking about our officer line, and we were getting ready to vote. And that member used to be a member of our lodge at one point. Was like, you can't do that. And we're like, what are you talking about? We've been doing it like this for like the last fucking 5 or 6 years. And he was like, well, per our bylaws, it states that St. John's Day, December 27th, is the day that we vote and not initiate, but we take our nominations and vote for who's going to be in our chairs. And I was like, wait, what? So we pulled out our bylaws, and by God, that's the exact words that it stated. It was St. John's 27th of December was when we did our nominations and voting of officers, and then we would install in January. And that was in our bylaws. And some of us younger cats did not know that because most of our older cats
Mm,
in the lodge, most of the older cats in the lodge are kind of passed away. And it was our lodge is more of a word by mouth. And some of our processes and things were just done
right.
because everybody's done it for so long. So we had to go through and read the actual bylaws. So, as you know, I'm a very big person on bylaws
Hmm.
because those are the kind of the I guess you call lack of better words, one call them the 10 commandments. Those are those things that are set and should still be done the same ways every single time. But some procedures can change, policies don't. Or did I say that wrong?
Yeah, no, you said that right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. All right. I got one more. This is one I'm really excited about. Something every widow's son should know if you want to grow your chapter. Every widow's son should know every chapter member's address.
Ooh. Ooh,
You should know your brother's address.
or at least been to their home.
You should, yeah, you should be able to, hey, we're gonna meet up at my house Saturday. Hey, we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
leave from my house Saturday. All right, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to
Mm-hmm.
get there. I've been there. I
Mm-hmm.
can show up. I can text you and say, "Hey, I'm 10 minutes from your house. You mind if I stop by?"
Mm-hmm. Hell, you can even
That
go
grows a chapter.
you can even go a little further than that. I was gonna say I think probably half the chapter shares GPS locations because we're all
That's a good
iPhone
one.
users. We're all iPhone users.
Yeah.
So sharing not I guess I'll lead into that for my third, knowing where your brother's at. Um
Ooh,
just
controversial.
yeah, because it's not knowing where your brother's at to spy on your brother, but to like if you
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
brother is that brother's going out of town.
Yeah.
I it this kind of happened after your accident there,
When I
Skittles.
went down, yeah, it's good to
When you
know.
went down in Chicago. All of us started sharing our locations so that way we knew where we were when we were traveling. So if I'm traveling from here to Mississippi and I go down and my location's there for a while, somebody can check in on me if my wife calls me and I don't answer, and then she calls you and you're like, oh, okay, he's at this location, and my wife's like, yeah, he's been at this location for a long time. Maybe we might be
Mhm.
able to send another chapter member out there or someone in that area to go check on me. And by God, maybe I might be broke down on the side of the road. Phone's fucking, shattered enough that I can't do anything on it, but enough that it still gives out a signal. So kind of knowing where your brother's at would be a good thing for to be with a son, and that's just not on physically knowing where they're at, just physically, mentally knowing where your brother is, his welfare, just kind of checking in on him, that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah. All right. I got a last one. I don't know if you got one after this, but this will be my last one. I'm actually going to take it from you. I've heard you say this a lot of times. Something every widow's son should know. And if you want to grow your chapter, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak.
Hmm. I agree
And
with that one.
where we go with this is we literally do mean if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. When we all get together, when Gilligan comes to my house, when we meet in some random town in Oklahoma, we all go out to a steakhouse and we all
Yep.
order big fat steaks.
I would say me,
Now
you,
the
and Rooster.
caveat there, yeah, we get a steak dinner when we're together tonight. And it's nice, man. It kind of puts a milestone on that night and makes some memories. But when Gilligan always says that, what we're stating by that is I don't care if you can or cannot afford a steak, you're going to eat steak with me. So if I need to buy you a steak to make that memory, we're like, it just doesn't matter. We're having steak together. No.
Yep. Do you need to eat steak? I'm eating steak.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I had an internet glitch there, but I'm good now.
You did. You buzzed
Yeah.
out. You said, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. And I was like,
Yeah.
I guess you're eating steak right now, bud.
Yeah, yes, sir. So I didn't know if you had another one or if you wanted to cruise us out of here.
I don't have anyone that I can think of right off the top of my head. I think we can close it on out tonight, and we'll catch back up next week. And do we have a guest next week? Do you know of? I don't know.
Man, didn't I
If you're
tell you?
listening,
So that yeah, we had that. There's a really crazy guest we have on. He literally wrote the book on the third degree. He's coming on at some point. I can't remember if it's next week or the week after that, but I'm really excited to hear about this gentleman. He literally wrote the book on the third degree.
nice. Um, brother, I always love doing podcasts with you. I love how our random ass brains can come up with some talk, because some of the times I say things and I have no idea where it comes from. I just hope it's
Yeah,
coming true Masonic words from deep down inside. Like when you told me
yeah.
earlier to say that again, I I
I
couldn't.
know, dude. Well, I was
I
even
still
thinking,
can't.
yeah, I was like, I'm gonna have to look that back up now because I was gonna say it for you. I'm like, nah, I can't say it now. But
No,
it's very meaningful.
it was like
I loved it.
correct. Just like when I did that installation officers at the end of it, I've started tearing up because of just how much it meant to me for being able to install our officers of our chapter for the
Mhm.
first time. So I reflected on that when I was done. I was like, man, why did I get upset? There was nothing for me to be upset about, but just the emotions that I had for the 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 moment, and installing my brothers in those chairs just meant a lot to me. And that's it, the form of it was tears in front of
Yeah,
all my family and friends, and it was like, oh, okay, this is very humbling.
yeah,
But
yeah. I'm with you.
do you have anything on your desk there, Brother Parker?
Um, just something I want to vent about. My last lodge meeting, I teared up and I had a tough time uh hearing my lodge say, "Good evening, worshipful," and I knew it was the last time I was gonna hear them say that for probably like a long time. I'll be worshipful again one day, but it was
Right,
when I
right.
heard them say that, yeah, it was I realized it was the last time I'd hear that for a long time.
Time. Yep.
And I just thought about that. So but other than that, brother, now that we're done podcasting, maybe I'll call you tomorrow and we'll finally catch up.
Yep. Yeah, well, you'll be
Or
up in there,
whatever.
UP. You got some.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you can make up there. What are you taking up there? Hopefully, it's not that little.
Honda Civic?
What the hell is that? Oh, you're taking the Civic?
Yeah.
I thought you might even try to take the Mini.
The minis? Not with those 2 dogs.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That's fair enough. Fair enough. But brother,
Yeah.
I love you as always, and
Yeah.
love doing podcasts with you.
Yep. Alright. Love you, brother. I'll talk to you later.
Stay out. Yep. Stay out of trouble.
Alright. Bye.